After defeating Gaius and the Ultimate Weapon in A Realm Reborn, you hear about an expedition into the Crystal Tower by the Sons of St. Coin-Ach. So you meet the leader of this expedition, Rambros, and he lets you join. Then you reunite with Cid, who is a part of the expedition as well. He explains that after seeing the Ultimate Weapon, he wanted to explore the tower, so he could analyze, monitor, and stop the Allagan technology from falling into the wrong hands. Unfortunately, there are some force fields blocking the way to the Crystal Tower. Luckily, Cid has a plan to get past those force fields by making keys to break the barriers. So you run around Eorzea gathering the materials until you run into Biggs and Wedge, Cid's assistants, who are doing their own thing. But they decide to join the expedition after you explain the situation to them. After this, you go to the Twelves Wood to get the last thing you need for Cid, but you're led on a roundabout chase by a mysterious voice who eventually gives you the item you need. After this, you go back to the expedition camp and Cid makes the keys, but before you test them out, you meet G'rahatia, who is a student of Baldesion and the voice in the woods. Then he renames the expedition group to Noah. Afterwards, Cid breaks the barriers with his keys and you enter the Labyrinth of the Ancients. After clearing out the area, you and your friends go back to camp to discuss the current situation. In your conversation, you all agreed that the technology within the Crystal Tower is too dangerous to share with the public, but you need to get inside the tower to seal it or destroy it. After this, the game cuts away to Nero, who wants something from the tower as well. Then the game goes back to Noah, where G'rahatia and Rambros can't find a way into the tower, until Doga and Uni, who claim to be students of Baldesion, say they can help. Then they notice G'rahatia has the Allagan eye like they do, meaning that G'raha is a descendant of Allagan royalty. After this conversation, everyone goes to the entrance of the Crystal Tower, where Doga and Uni use the power of their royal blood to open the doors. Then Nero appears and reveals that Doga and Uni are clones. Following this, Doga and Uni explain their purpose. They explain to everyone that by the time they were created, the Allagan Empire was in decline or already gone. So a scientist named Amon believed the empire needed a strong ruler, so he revived the founding father of the empire, Emperor Zandi, by cloning him, and the cloning experiments leading up to Zandi's revival created Doga and Uni. After retaking the throne, Zandi restored the empire back to its former glory, but he wasn't satisfied with that. Zandi wanted to rule the whole world, but he needed more power, so he looked towards the power of darkness and made the Crystal Tower a research facility for that purpose. Then he created Dalamud and shot it into the sky to collect enough energy so he could use the darkness however he wanted. But unfortunately for Zandi, when the Empire tried to transfer the energy back to the Crystal Tower, it triggered an earthquake that became the fourth Umbral Calamity, and the Allagan Empire came to an end. But before the Crystal Tower sank into the earth, Amon used magic that stopped the flow of time within, putting everyone into a deep sleep, until Dalamud came crashing down with Bahamut and woke the tower up with Zandi, Doga, and Uni as well, and that Zandi had been corrupted by the darkness and still wants to achieve his goal. So with that explanation out of the way, Doga and Uni tell you that it has been years, but they believe you can defeat Zandi, but G'raha stays behind to ask about his eye, and Doga tells him that all will be revealed in time. After that, you enter the Crystal Tower, and along the way you fight a clone of Amon, but after that you get to the top of the tower and fight Zandi, and you win. After your fight, everyone joins you at the top of the tower, where Doga and Uni tell you that it's time to seal the tower, but they have to close a portal to the void that Zandi opened. The void is actually the 13th shard. It turned into a realm of pure darkness when the Ascians messed up their first attempt at rejoining the world. They continue to explain that Zandi made an unholy covenant with the Voidsent, the beings that live within the void, to open the portal so they could help him take over the world, and that covenant is still in place. But Doga and Uni have the same blood as Zandi, so they attempt to break the covenant. Unfortunately, something stops them, makes the portal bigger, and sends corrupted clones to attack everyone. But as this happens, you get a vision of the past where you see Xande lose his mind and decides that if everything will eventually end, he might as well reduce the world to nothing, calling upon the Cloud of Darkness to consume everything. After this, Doga, Uni, and Nero are pulled into the void and the rest of your group retreats. After regrouping, you find out that the tower is collecting power to make the void portal bigger, and the only people with enough royal blood to control the tower right now are Doga and Uni, so we have to hurry. So everyone goes back to the top of the tower and Cid opens the void gate for you. However, before you go through, G'raha Tia asks to join you and you agree. So you two go into the world of darkness together. After defeating the Cloud of Darkness, you find Doga, Uni, and Nero. We find out that Nero is being consumed by the darkness of the void and won't live much longer. Also, your blessing of light and everyone's Allagan royal blood protects them from this. Then the Cloud of Darkness tries to trap everyone in the void. So Uni and Doga use magic to transfer their blood to G'raha, giving him the power to control the Crystal Tower. And they stay behind to hold back the Cloud of Darkness, letting the rest of you escape. Except Nero succumbs to the darkness until one of the clones heals him and he makes it out as well. After this, the void gate closes and everyone returns to camp except for G'raha, who wants to be alone right now. After resting, a researcher tells Rambros that G'raha is ordering people to leave the Crystal Tower, so everyone goes to the tower to see what he's doing. G'raha explains that he will seal the tower and put himself into stasis inside until people develop technology on par with the Allagan Empire and can open the tower themselves. So everyone accepts his decision and G'raha Tia goes to sleep. Then Nero leaves on a journey of self-discovery, and that is the end of the Final Fantasy XIV Crystal Tower storyline. If you want to see more timeline videos like this one or video essays on your favorite video games and anime, like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on. But with that being said, it's been Skips and I'm out.